Fantastic.
Awesome. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Tammy Maltby Melchizedek. It is my honor to come from Colorado Springs and to join hands with Brent Willis this afternoon for me, South Africa for Brett. This guy is a rock star. Let me just tell you, he is amazing. And I'm so grateful that he's going to be joining me today, hosting this very exciting Zoom with our actual CEO Global is going to be joining us in a few minutes. But I want you to know about Brett. He is an amazing man. He is a leadership. I want to say he's a leadership guru. He speaks on leadership. He helps companies rise to high standards. He understands the network marketing industry. He and his beautiful wife, who just got married recently, congratulations on that as well. She is an incredible woman. And in his free time, he flies the sky. Literally, he flies the sky and takes people flying all over. I think it's Cape Town area. I'm not sure exactly where it is. I think it's Cape Town. And I think to myself, like, people actually paid money to be terrified like that. But someday I'm going to do it with you. So
yes, you are.
Give you the floor and let you go ahead and run our Zoom. It's so great to have you today.
Fantastic. Tammy, thank you so much for such a lovely introduction, and welcome everybody from all the corners of the world. It's a global business. We're in a global market. We're making friends across the borders, and we're really excited about building those relationships. So Tammy, yes, I do lead quite an exciting life, and I do try and step out of my comfort zone, and there's a lot of fear when we do that, as we all know. We've got to leave the comfort zone and face our fears and walk with building our faith and our philosophies into the things that we dream about. And so, for those of us that are looking at the business for the first time, some of you might be involved in your early journey in NewAge, and particularly here in NewAge Africa. There's so much excitement, there's so much anticipation, there's so many things that we have to look forward to. And at the same time, we've also got to learn so much about what it will take for us to go the distance and become that entrepreneur that we all dream about being. For so many people around the world right now, we're busy reinventing ourselves. I'm not sure if you can put your hand up and say that your life was somehow affected. Millie, I see your hand up there. During this time, we've been challenged by so many different factors, and for many of us, the old things that we were comfortable with, the things that we could rely upon, have really eroded away. So it's time for us to be able to look for certainty in the lines of success where people have gone before us, people that have gone before us and done things, principle-based things with integrity, things that we can learn to rely upon and duplicate. And when we learn to follow true leaders, and we look at their stories, we watch their lives, we look at the successes, I know in my own life, the most successes I've ever had have been when I've done the opposite of trying to reinvent the wheel, but I've simply followed some true, the true north. And this business is really about that. And I know that for many of us, we are patiently and excitedly awaiting, the news that is really going to catapult us into this hope and this belief that we've had for so long. So, I just want to touch very quickly upon a couple of things that you already know so well. But the reasons why, we are so excited about network marketing. I was introduced to network marketing over 20 years ago. And I think I was immature. I didn't have the faith. I didn't have the philosophy that I have now. But one of the things that did happen when I started my journey in multi-level marketing, I started to grow as a human being. I started to grow as a leader. I started to grow as a man. And my capacity started to grow when I realized that the business, was really the second prize, the money that I might earn. But the real prize was who I would become along the way. And that's been so amazing for me. In my early days, it was over 25 years ago, I got to spend time with Jim Rohn, one of the greats of this business. He's influenced so many amazing people, and I actually shook hands with them. I've met with them in different countries at different times, and people like that have just helped me grow so much. And so, I just see this opportunity that we're involved in here, like never before, what this company NewAge is actually doing. And Brent's going to be sharing a whole lot more, as will Tammy, in a while. But essentially, if you want to be part of a purpose that has a far bigger story than you can ever imagine, I want to assure you that you're in the right place. And you're connecting with people around the world. We borrow from each other. We continually borrowing from each other. And when we tap into that with humility and with the attitude of a student, we can only grow, and we can share, and we can become so much more together as we start to empower the other people around us. And so, if you're growing a team right now, if you are busy working your entrepreneurial philosophy, you're going to be faced with the breakthrough that comes. And just like spring has come to Southern Africa right now, the flowers didn't all blossom on the 1st of September. This was a process, the process we didn't see happening. There was pain in the rebirth, but through at the perfect timing, this all came to bloom. And we're seeing it here in South Africa. We had amazing rain, and the flowers in the Northern Cape and the Western Cape are like never before. And so your breakthrough will really come from the time that you start to invest in your personal development. The business model is A-OK. We're in good hands with NewAge. I want to tell you that we're in good hands because we have the most amazing people that have wisdom beyond the years that NewAge has actually been around. They have years and years and years of business wisdom, which they put together, and we can be assured that we're in good hands. And so for us, our job is really, in my opinion, is to develop ourselves, develop our attitudes, develop our philosophy, start growing our dreams. Don't shortchange yourself on your dreams. Don't downsell yourself on those things that you've dreamt about in color. Because I want to tell you that if you have the right attitude, you're teachable, you have the right belief system, stay in the queue. You will eat at the feast. You will eat at the feast. The problem is when you leave the queue, because it didn't happen quick enough for you. We need to have seasonal patience. And when we do that, we will be blessed with the most amazing victories, not only in our personal growth, but in that which we procure and be able to share with so many other people. So I really am so excited about the wisdom that we have in our leadership team. I've had the good fortune for the last 9 months, my wife Isolde and I have been tuning in and learning at the feet of this great leadership team that we have, with the most amazing track record. We are so excited about what they're doing for Africa. It really is like never before. I've spoken to other people that have tried this with inferior products, with poor marketing plans, with poor compensation plans, with bad preparation, bad timing. And I want to say that I'm so grateful that we have been patient, that we're getting everything right. And when we launch, it is to take this thing to a whole new level. So guys, I can talk forever and ever and ever. What I do want to say to you is 85% of your success will come from your development of your personal attitude, that I want to attitude. Your skills, you will learn as you need them along the way. We're in good hands. We have so much wisdom. We have people that we can tap into. So stay connected, stay plugged in, stay tuned in, keep learning, keep growing, and keep sharing. I want to, if I can, because I know we're pressed for time, I want to just give you a couple of little take-home points that I wrote down that I thought I would like to share with you. And the first thing for me in your take-home, I'll put 6 points together, and we can always send them through on a group chat. But Number one, decide to be successful. That decision, 2 minutes before this call tonight, a colleague of mine sent me a picture of a beautiful Jeep Rubicon. And we both desire to drive that vehicle because we just love the American Jeep Rubicon, not the standard Jeep Wrangler. I see Mike putting his hand up there, but the Jeep Rubicon that's been worked, it'll be able to do those Colorado cinnamon trails and those things there as well. So decide that you want to be successful. He sent me a picture of this Jeep and he said, Brett, in 1 year from now, I will be driving this Jeep. And my message back to him was, Johan, that is true because you've decided it is true. End of story. So decide that you're going to be successful, and you've got to have a big enough why. The only thing that keeps you motivated is the reason why you do what you do. When it gets tough, when it gets hard, when it's raining, when it's cold, it's hard to get up in the morning and go to the gym. It's hard to level up as all of you guys are busy doing at the moment. But if you have a big enough why, then of course it reinforces your decision. Number two, work daily on your personal development. Daily. You cannot lose a day. Your personal development. I just turned 64 days ago, and I tell you, I'm more excited right now about my personal development than I was 35 years ago. So work hard on your personal development daily. 3, stay connected, stay plugged in to the system. Stay connected and stay plugged into the system. 4, share the value that you have. Whatever it is, share the value that you have. Help where you can. And 5, set firm goals for your progress. And lastly, build your faith and develop your philosophy. Remember that confidence in people, trust in people, and things grow when you grow your philosophy around your faith. So guys, that's it from me. I hope that there was something that you could take home, that you could bang into your toolbox of tools that are already sharp and ready for the season that we're going into right now. For those of you that have been patient, for those of you that have kept dreaming, I want to tell you, well done. You know that there is an incredible harvest coming. So you'll eat at the feast, stay in the queue, and keep inspiring the way that you do. I'm going to go directly to, I think, Millicent. Are you ready to share with us? We are so excited to speak with you. Are you in Bloemfontein? Is that where you are?
Yes, I'm currently in Bloemfontein.
Okie dokes. And you have an incredible background, Millie. Can I call you Millie?
Yes, that's fine. Everybody calls me Millie.
You've got a background in financial management. You work for some of the big banks in South Africa. You have your own financial services business right now, and I believe that you're also a mom of one.
Yes.
Does that sound like you? And you
yes,
are dynamic
that is
and
me.
Inspiring and shaking and moving up there in Bloemfontein. So let's hear from you.
Okay, hi everyone, and thank you so much, Brett, and thank you to the team for giving me the opportunity to share about my journey in NewAge so far. So I joined the company just under 3 months. A friend of mine called Sonia, who is very dear to me and who I trust very much, and you'll understand why I emphasize on the trust part, called me this one time and she said, Millie, there's this great opportunity that I think is a breakthrough for you. And she said, I think it's a breakthrough for you because of the financial and the health benefits that come with the company. And she said, a friend of mine, Corlia, who I also trust, will call you and tell you more about the company. So behold, Corlia called me, and did she speak from the heart? Did she speak with such passion about the company? And skeptical analysis paralysis me, if you've worked for the bank, you're very pedantic about things. You want to research everything. You want to make sure that things are not a scam. And, when she told me about the company, I fell in love with the company right there and then. But obviously, I still went to do my research just to find out more about the company. And from that day, she has been like a pillar of strength. I saw that she is on the call, and that's the one thing that stood out for me and really touched my heart and sold the company to me. It's the spirit of teamwork. I mean, the minute I joined, everybody was ready with open arms just to take me by the arm or to take me by the hand and to walk by my side on this journey that I just embarked on. And the other thing that really touched my heart about the company is the fact that I felt like I had just walked into a family setup, like I had just joined this tribe that was just cheering me on and that was just supporting me and going out of their way to really help me to achieve my goals. And I started, being part of the Zooms, and I realized that the Zooms are very important because that's where you get to learn more about the company. That's where you get to learn and hear about other people's success stories, their testimonials and everything else. And what I've picked up so far as well is that each and every leader and each and every brand partner that speaks from the heart. They speak from the heart to the other person's heart. They engage with people in such a way that you can see the passion and you can see that the intention of the company is to really change lives in the health, wellness, and wealth space. And the other thing that just always blows my mind is how one is always learning. I've just realized that you will learn until the day you die. You can have backgrounds, you can have all these accolades, but you do not know everything. You always learn things. And that's the one thing that I like about the company. And the fact that everybody supports everyone else and they are ready to help when help is needed. So I know I just have to share my story in short. Brett, I'm also like you, I can go on and on and on because I feel that there's so much that I want to share about the company, but because of time, I will close in saying I'm also personally excited about this opportunity. I really can't wait for the launch so that I can start using the products because I know I've got hope and I believe that I'm going to benefit from the problems so that I can start earning that passive income and so that I can also start using my life, my transformation story as a testimony to help others transform their lives as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Millie, thank you so much. Wow, dynamic, powerful, on point, very inspiring. And I when I come to Bloemfontein, because I have parents-in-law in Bloemfontein, I have a reason to visit them. I will come and have coffee with you as well.
Please, Brett.
Yeah.
And you can also come because I'm actually based between Bloemfontein and Centurion. So
cool.
Whether you're in Centurion or in Bloem, we can do coffee. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So we are. You'll realize, guys, we are probably outnumbered in this business by the most dynamic woman. And you know what? They upstage us all the time, and we absolutely love it. So our next guest this evening, also for her few-minute story, is a lady all the way from Oshakati. Now, I actually, as a young soldier in 1979, spent quite a lot of time in that area. And it was, I'm sure it's developed now. It was really just sand and bush in those days. But our next guest, Elizabeth, is actually from Oshakati. And she is also a shaker and a mover in Oshakati and doing amazing things. She's a mother of 4. I believe that she has a teaching degree, but she's also very involved in her personal development as well. So let's hear from Elizabeth. Elizabeth, we can pop you on. Awesome. I'm not sure whether Elizabeth is on the call, actually.
Elizabeth, you can unmute yourself if you're on. She's calling in from Namibia, I know. Is she on? Corlia, do you see her? Sometimes they have issues with getting on Zooms. It can be challenging.
Yes, I admit, and Elizabeth, I don't know if it is she. Rinky, are you on the call? Can you maybe help me?
Well, I know she was so excited to be able to share her story.
Yes, yeah.
We're just chatting with her. She's a delightful, beautiful woman. And if she is not on, Corlia, is that a no? We're going to continue to move on.
Yes,
She is under the she's under Jimmy Paul. Do you see her? Can you unmute her?
Elizabeth Shan Yen Ganye, is that the one?
Twileka, I think it is.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
No, I don't see her there.
All right.
I think
guys,
we can go
that,
under it.
yeah, I think that we're going to continue, and you know, we will hear again from this amazing lady, and you know, we really just welcome everybody sharing. It inspires us. Remember that everybody works, you know, from their own little footprint, their own village. They have different stories, but essentially our hearts and minds are connected to exactly the same thing, and we can really learn, you know, from each other in this incredible community. I'm going to introduce you to me. Sorry, I thought Jimmy.
Hey guys, yeah, she's under the name Twileka. So if you can just check,
Unmute her. Yeah.
unmute Twileka.
Cool.
Elizabeth is under the name Twileka.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you, Brett.
And do you see her?
Ah, Twileka. There we go. Elizabeth.
Beautiful woman.
Elizabeth, welcome. I'm not sure whether you heard your wonderful introduction.
She is muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Elizabeth.
yes.
Welcome.
Hello,
welcome.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening to my top leaders.
No.
Good evening to you. Good evening to you. Please share with us, Elizabeth.
Okay, thank you very much. As my name mentioned, I'm Elizabeth Shanyengange. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Whoa, okay, thank you very much. I'm Elizabeth Shanyengange, and I'm calling in and I'm presenting this down there from the north, Namibia, Oshakati, Wadiva, Shana region. I'm very much excited to be a new age partner in business. I thank for this opportunity. I thank Mefro Rinky de Bier, who have presented me this opportunity, New Age. And this was very early January, February this year. It's for a while now. And we've been, New Age have been teaching us on how to cope with business. How are we going to do our social selling, marketing with New Age? How are we going to grow up our business? How are we going to make a presentation to our new followers and customers so that they can follow us on the business? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, thank you very much. So far, so good. We are very much excited here as I'm presenting this on behalf of my people who I have sponsored. I have sponsored so long, and we're all excited about New Age. So we are just what we are now waiting for. We are just waiting for the product to come out, and we can top up and do everything which is going to change our life financially. So finally, I just want to encourage everyone in Africa to participate in this business opportunity, because this is going to change our people's life, especially in this world of a pandemic, COVID-19, which have destroyed up our financial situation and everything. I think NewAge will do this, and NewAge will recover this positively. Thank you very much, and good night.
Thank you so very much, Elizabeth. Wow, that was brilliant. Thank you for sharing with us, and we are very, very excited about seeing your growth and being able to learn from you, and particularly see what's going on in Oshakati. So thank you so much, Elizabeth. Folks, it's with absolute delight, great privilege for me tonight to introduce our next guest. You've seen her pretty face already on the screens tonight. She's shared already with us and welcomed us all in earlier. Tammy, Maltby, Melchizedek, thank you so very much for your leadership, your grace, that which you've done for all of us here, you know, through Erica, and just being the rock that's always there, always available, and really just, you know, your heart, your integrity. It's hard to put into words your successes and you know, the history that we can look to, and the leadership that you are. So Tammy, I know a grandmother of, I keep getting it wrong, it's hard to believe that you are, of 7, and obviously you know, a loving wife and business leader. So I'm going to hand over to you just to share with us, Tammy. Thank you so very much.
Brett, thank you so much. It's been an honor to be with you. I don't know about anybody else on this Zoom, but I am like, Africa is in the house. I am so happy and so excited to see you all on this Zoom. And it's so beautiful to hear from the lives of people on the ground who are anticipating the launch very soon of these products into Africa, and how it's going to change the health and the financial prosperity of the people and the community, which is so amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Soon we are coming to Africa, very, very soon. And I cannot wait to be shoulder to shoulder with you, hearing all the stories, because stories are what drive our business. So welcome, welcome. Without further ado, however, I have an amazing man that I want to introduce you all to. His name is Mr. Brent Willis, and Brent is, I have a little bio on him. And every time I get to introduce him, I always try to find something new to say about him. He's, and there's a lot to be said about Brent. So, but one of the things I read about him, this is what some people say about who he is as a leader. You know, he is the CEO of our beloved company, NewAge. But this is what is said. He is a record trending leader. He is known to be one of the greatest advocates of the largest turnarounds in one of the largest companies called, maybe you've heard of it, Coca-Cola. He had the largest turnaround in the Coca-Cola company history as the division president of Latin America. He was the youngest person in that role ever in the history of Coca-Cola. He launched Kraft in China, Stella worldwide, and multiple other brands globally. That's something you're going to learn about this man. He's a global man, and you're going to find out why he's such a global man in just a second. He has conducted over 50 acquisitions worldwide. He is a former U.S. military officer from West Point. You know, some of you know my husband taught at the academy. I call it the academy. He corrected me. He said, the Air Force Academy is not the academy, it's a academy. So he went to West Point. He went to the University of Chicago. He has a degree in science and engineering. He is a really smart, incredible man. This is one more thing, Brent, that was said about you. You're a very driven, dynamic leader. You are incredibly knowledgeable. You're talented. You have profound leadership skills. And oh my gosh, it goes on and on. But more than anything, do you know This man is from Africa. He isn't just listening to the stories of Africa. He's from Africa. It's in his heart. And you'll find and hear this in just a few minutes, how he is love Africa. And he is the one really that got behind this whole movement to bring NewAge to Africa. So Mr. Brent Willis, would you like to share? Where?
Tammy,
Yes,
you know-
welcome. I'm so glad to have you.
guys, I get embarrassed every time I hear about all of that stuff in the past. Because I have a belief that it's just paper. It's just history. None of it matters. All that matters is what's in your heart and what are you going to do going forward for others. That's all that matters, because the rest is just, it's just paper. Nobody cares. All I care about is making a difference with all of you guys to do something extraordinary and something special. And I was just listening to this Zoom and listening to Mr. Brent Willis share his passion and his wisdom with us. Guys, that dude's smart. Brett, how did you get to be so good, so smart, so handsome, so everything that you are? Tell us the truth. You're on mute.
So, Brent, thank you so very much. Of course, none of that is true at all. I just absolutely, like you and like Tammy, you know, when my feet hit the floor in the morning, I say, Lord, thank you. Here's another day. Let's see what can happen. And I'm really as excited about, you know, I'm more excited about life right now than ever before. There's just so many dreams coming true for so many people, so many possibilities throughout all of the adversity that we've witnessed. I think we've all grown a little bit. So yeah,
I couldn't agree with you more. And I am so excited to be working for you and working for Tammy. That's what a CEO is, guys. Unfortunately, you know, I got to work for about 1 million people around the world. That's how I define the role. Founder is different. Founder collects all the money like Jeff Bezos. He's going to probably be the world's first trillionaire, and we get to all pay for him to go buy a billionaire kind of toy and go to space, right? I'd prefer to keep the money, right, for us, right? So CEO is different than founder, and that means I work for all of you guys. There's a couple of things I want to share with you today, and a couple of things I want you to remember. So the first thing is that this thing that we're a part of is completely different than a normal company, because we stand for 3 things. And it is very different than any company I've ever been associated with. The first thing that we stand for is we are here to make a difference for the planet with healthy products. Full stop. And we will never, ever compromise in that commitment, that promise. The second thing that we stand for, which is also completely different than any other company I've ever been associated with, is we share the wealth with everybody that helps us get there. That's why we don't have founders. That's why we share stock with everybody. That is why we've taken 200,000 share options without anything that we're getting in return as an initial investment for the launch and kickoff of Africa. Guys, those kinds of things never, ever happen in a normal company, but that is commitment, and that is an embodiment of our commitment to share the wealth with everybody that contributes to our success. That's the second thing that's different. And the third thing that we stand for is we have structured this company to kick everybody's ass on the planet. And we're going to do it. So we are here to absolutely win, and win as a team, and celebrate in all of that success together. And there is just it's like a drug. There is nothing more invigorating than being part of something special and sharing in all of those victories together and supporting each other and encouraging each other. And guess what? Look, I've been, as Tammy said, part of some very big successful companies. She mentioned I launched a brand called Stella Artois around the world. Some of you in South Africa might know of a beer called Castle. Stella Artois is way better than that shite brew. Just a joke. And actually, we now at AB InBev own Castle and own South African breweries too. So, you know, that is an example of world domination and global domination. We started as a tiny little Belgian beer company nobody had ever heard of. We figured out the economics in the beer industry, and we ended up buying Anheuser-Busch in the United States, SAB breweries. Those guys own everything, and they're $100 billion, right? We are on that same journey, and we are going to, we're going to kick everybody's ass on the planet. So that's why we're here, and we're all going to share in the wealth. Now, we're lucky to have guys like Brett and folks like Millie, and I see Yolanda on the phone, who's my LinkedIn friend. You look so beautiful with your updo there. And Tammy, who's just such a good-hearted person. They have such substance in the industry. The only thing I know how to do is run a global multinational and put in place disruptive military-like strategy that leads to long-term success and victory. So if it's going to work, I'm going to see if I can share a couple of, I don't know if I can share screen here or anything. Oh yeah, I can. I'm going to share a couple of charts because I'm going to give you the analytics of why we're going to be successful. Can you guys see my screen? Yes, hopefully. I think you can.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, cool. All right, I'm going to give you the analytics and the logic of why we're going to be successful. And the rest of the guys can give you the substance and the playbooks and all of those kinds of things.
Brent, you're muted.
All right, how about this now?
Perfect.
So these are the fundamentals. This is why we created the company. Number one, consumers were changing around the world towards healthy products. Would you guys all agree with that? Of course, right? Number two, retail was changing. One of my board directors is the global CEO for duty-free stores. It's an $8 billion retailer, and they're down 75%. And the whole world is going towards direct. And all of the major historical leaders of the trillion-dollar consumer goods industry are really struggling. Number one, they can't change their portfolios. Coca-Cola is not going to change its formula, and it is diabetes in a can. It is so bad for people. And yeah, I was Coke's youngest president ever, but today I am just embarrassed about what I used to do and the time I spent with the company. So I want to make a difference now for society, not just in terms of healthy products, but I want to make a difference against the opportunity inequalities that exist around the world, which is why I want everybody to be a fellow shareholder. But these guys are so stuck in their portfolios and their mindsets and their business models. And so our strategy is against that is number one, only have healthy products. Number two, only deliver products in a direct to consumer route to market. And guess what? The whole world in marketing has changed, right? So I used to spend 3.3 billion euros a year in TV advertising and marketing. But now what works is what we do. It's all social media, it's all social feeds, and it's word of mouth towards friends and family recommendations. These are the largest drivers of purchase intent now in the world. Millennials and Gen Zs, which is 50% of the global population, they don't even watch TV anymore. So look, we are just, direct to consumers, really no distributors holding inventory. We do drop shipments to 750,000 homes every single month across 75 countries around the world, driven by us, driven by brand partners and our levels of influence in social feeds and recommendations. This is what drives business these days, and what consumers want is healthy products. So we are on have such tailwinds behind us and are such on the right trend. It is just so unique. So here is our strategy, right? Number one, we start with science, and we never compromise. And we have some of the best science in the world, I think, to the level of Johnson & Johnson, and who my roommate is the CEO for, from the Academy, all of these companies. And that science, you will see more and more come out on that. That science then translates into healthy, functional brands. And we've got great brands like a Procter & Gamble or Nestle, delivered in a direct route to market, utilizing a team of exclusive, dedicated, trained brand partners. And we're all influencers in our own right, whether it's to 100, 1,000, or 10,000, we are influencers that are influencing sales, and we teach those brand partners. So I always say it doesn't matter where you came from. All that matters is what's in your heart. And are you willing to learn and willing to bust your behind? We'll teach you everything else to really transform your life, both from a health standpoint and a financial standpoint, because we're going to give you the latest social selling tools on the planet. And I know for a fact that Africa is lined up to be one of the first regions of the world to receive those social selling technologies. And ultimately, the end goal too is to have this consumer and customer database that is the most unrivaled database on the planet, so we can have this direct connection with consumers coming into our ecosystem. This strategy, I don't know what you'd call it. It's a little bit like Procter & Gamble. It's a little bit like Etsy. It's a little bit like Instagram. It's a little bit like Facebook or Dollar Shave Club. It's a little bit like Amazon. It's a little bit like each one of these, but it is one of one. It's the only one that is like this. And it's the only one that is dedicated to you and driving wealth creation for you guys and sharing in the benefits of the business. Now, this is boring stuff, this part, because this is how do you put business results in statistical control. And it's what's behind the scenes that these things that I have to do all day long. But you build the right team with you. That's why I was so impressed just listening to Brett and Millie and some of the team. You get the best people in the world that are smarter, younger, faster, more driven, more aggressive, and you partner with them. You get the right processes and business routines. You have the right systems. Underpinning us is Oracle EBS. It is the best in the world. It costs huge amounts of money, but it enables us to do the fulfillment without worrying about it, to do the automatic checks to you guys without worrying about it, to do the one-click enrollment and ordering and quick click checkouts. It enables us to do all of these things. And guess what? We have the visibility to manage the business, and we are building this culture of putting brand partners first, serving them, having a service-oriented culture and a performance-oriented, metric-driven culture. So these are the capabilities that we're building behind the scenes, and I think we're better than anybody else in the direct selling industry in that world. This is why your company today is number one. It's good to be number one, but your company, you get to say, hey, look, it's the fastest growing company in all of consumer goods worldwide. We're $500 million. We're 70% gross margin, 30% or $30 million in EBITDA. You're sitting on $100 million of cash with $480 million of assets. This is the fastest growing consumer goods company worldwide, and it is your company, right? So you can be proud of it. I don't think it's success, honestly, because we didn't come here to build a $500 million company. We came here to make a difference for the planet. So we are not successful yet, but we are on our way. And you guys are really getting in on the ground floor. The company's only 5 years old. So, I don't know where we're going to end up. I don't care where we end up, as long as we make a difference for everybody along the way. So that's the company today. And where we're going forward is to drive growth. And guess what? On this chart, are all the negatives for the consumer goods industry in terms of awareness of toxic ingredients and sugar and all of the change of purchase behavior for millennials, et cetera, all of the need for functional ingredients. Guess what, guys? Those are real negatives for them and huge positives for us against all of these growth categories and growth segment opportunities, which are the categories in which we compete, and great brands against there. So I would say, look, that's the analytics. I want to share two more things with you, which is why we're really going to be successful. The first thing is this. It comes down to, I think, these 5 things. Number one, we have the team. We have the brand partners. We have people like Tammy and Erica and Evan, you name it, dedicated, smart, good-hearted people that serve others. We've got the team. We have the environment, as I just described, right? And it doesn't matter how good your team is. If your business environment is too negative on you, it doesn't matter how good they are. We have got all of the tailwinds, all of the fundamentals that will propel us going forward. And the next thing we have is, honestly, we have luck. We have the timing. This is just the perfect timing for us. And it doesn't always happen that way, but it's perfect timing for you, which is why, you know, I hear the excitement that you guys have. And I heard Brett when he said, look, you know, a lot of companies will, you know, cut corners or do other things. We don't, right? So we've taken the time. You guys have been patient, but we've taken the time to build a long-term, really successful and sustainable business for you. And we've got the plan and we've got the financial resources. You need all 5 of these things to be successful, but we're lucky enough to have them all. And the last thing to be successful, if it works, because it's hard to sometimes see videos on these things, the real key to success is not Brent Willis, let me tell you. It's not the leadership team at corporate or in any one of the business units. It's not Craig DeBrune, who I think the world of and is a great personal friend as our area president in Africa. The real key to success is all of us and our mindset. And I want to share this video with you.
If we show emotion, we're called dramatic. If we want to play against men, we're nuts. And if we dream of equal opportunity, delusional. When we stand for something, we're unhinged.
Super, it's gonna need to calm down.
When we're too good, there's something wrong with us. And if we get angry, we're hysterical or rational or just being crazy. But a woman running a marathon was crazy.
Officials tried to pull her off the course.
A woman boxing was crazy. A woman dunking, crazy. Coaching an NBA team, crazy. A woman competing in a hijab, changing her sport, landing a double cork 1080, or winning 23 Grand Slams, having a baby, and then coming back for more. Crazy, 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 and crazy. So if they want to call you crazy, fine. Show them what crazy can do.
So my friends, we are going to be a little bit crazy. We are going to be disruptive to break the mold for income inequalities, for inequalities for women or races or opportunity inequalities that you just never had the luck or the opportunity before. We are going to make a difference for that in our company. It is what we are going to stand for, and nothing is going to get in our way. So this is why we're going to be successful. With that, I'll pass it back to Tammy, you, and Brett.
Wow. 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 I mean, can I see some hearts and can I see some applause? Like if you just watched that video and just heard that presentation, I want to make sure you're checking your pulse, because you have an opportunity with a company right now in Africa with that kind of leadership and that kind of knowledge, and a man who didn't even really share much of his story about his Africa story, but someday you'll have to hear it. And grandparents that were from Africa as well. I just love your story. I love who you are, Brent. And I would follow you up a hill, well, a mountain. I'd follow you up a mountain and into a war, because I believe so deeply in who you are and what you've been called to do. And that's who we are at NewAge. We are people that have a desire to change our lives and to change the communities and our families and to leave a lasting legacy. This is a legacy business, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen. This is a business where you can actually change the trajectory of your family's life. And we just want to invite you. So if someone has invited you to this Zoom, if this is the first time you've ever heard about NewAge, I hope you're blown away, because this opportunity is coming very soon. Actually, right now, you can lock in your spot with Africa. Right now, you can get a piece of that pie. Right now, you can position yourself for the biggest launch, the most incredible thing that's going to be coming to Africa very soon, very, very soon. And so get back to the person that invited you, get more information. And I just want to give a very warm thank you to our beautiful guests, the women that shared today. Thank you, ladies, for your beautiful testimonies. You will go back into your communities and into your tribes and into your cities, and you will change people's lives. I want to thank my fabulous co-host, Brett. Thank you so much, and for all your leadership that you bring to the team. You know, we are all strangers that become friends, that become family. And we really are a family of people that believe in hope, trust, and a plan, and that there is a better way, and we have it. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. It's been absolutely a pleasure.